Okay, so let's analyze this question. Try to answer. The most base question. You know, the people always say, well, there's no God. What created the Big Bang? But, we might not know. But you know what's harder? Where the hell did God come from? What created it? And where did it come from? That's much, much harder to explain than what created the Big Bang. How the particles started. I got one for you. What happens? See, there used to be a question to hold water, but not anymore. Since we found out exoplanets that resemble Earth, same terrain, a little more massy. You could have said, you had a little more credibility before when you say, there was only Earth, Earth was the only place adapted for life. Well, guess what, folks? Science find out. Not anymore. We got exoplanets, quite a few of them that resemble Earth. So just in case we evolved, from Earth, it's not coincidence. If there's thousands of other exoplanets, there's going to be life at one point on one planet. We just happen to be on Earth. It could have been on any other planet. It could have been on any exoplanets, and still we live. So we know now life is not only possible on Earth. So, like I said, science advances. Your dogma, God, is going to decrease and decrease. So, what happens if we find out, and I'm pretty sure the species that lived on those planets, because remember, these exoplanets, some of them are 70,000 light years away. They had to know, if they're higher than us, more intelligent than us, a different species, who knows what, if they have telepathy, maybe they can show us whether in a cube or show us somehow how it all started. They know something. They absolutely have to know something because they live there and they can tell us how it started. You haven't thought about that, have you, though? See? Just because, well, it's impossible for to be in your gods or any religions because there's way too many contradictions and faults, but I've explained all that throughout the videos. I'm not going to explain it again. So it's impossible for your gods and the religions. The other option is the DS God, but that's still impossible because where the hell did it come from and what created it and for regression. So, of course, the best explanation is a naturalistic explanation with no supernatural. Is we go to these other planets, we find out with these aliens, because they have to know. If they live there for so long, they at least know what the hell happened. They know something we don't know. Absolutely. And then we can find out how it all started. We can find out where the particles came from. We can find out where matter came from, the energy. Because that's how it started, matter and energy. Maybe matter and energy was eternal. Maybe it was a different force out there. Maybe it was multiple forces. Maybe there could be so many explanations that doesn't have to have a requirement for God. Maybe there's no starting point. Because if the universe is infinite, maybe it's just on forever. Maybe there's multiple starting points. Or maybe there is no starting point. So there's a lot of reasons now more than ever. Before you could say, okay, all we knew was Earth. That's all we knew, That was adapted for life. But that's not the case anymore. We found these exoplanets that have the same terrain. That look like Earth, resembles Earth. And life, we could arose in life there. We just happen to be on Earth. So it's a lot of explanations and stuff we just can't even think to comprehend. And we could find out how it all started. And it could be with no God at all. It could be just, think about if other planets have different elements, maybe different gravity, double space. Maybe these aliens have telepathy. Maybe they can reverse time. They can show us in a cube or in a sphere how it all started. Maybe if we can't talk to them, they could just show us. Because If we can't talk their language, we can learn their language, and we can show, like sign language, like like Pictionary, using your hands, they can understand, how it started. So think about it: new elements in technology, new gases, new just things we can't even imagine, new forces. Maybe they have telepathy, explain consciousness. I mean, hell, it's gonna be some amazing stuff. Um, it's gonna be different laws, obviously. It's a different planet, different laws. Um, so now we have more than ever. So your argument's not good enough, saying that God had to create the Big Bang. We have a lot of ammo under us that can explain more than ever that there had no God needed for the creation of the Big Bang. Things we don't know, the unknown of unknowns, because once you throw, you really have to stretch your mind. You throw the God in your picture, where you say the God's eternal. Well, the problem with that, if science has debunked religions and all the religions' contradictions, well, if there is a God, it would be a deist God. But the problem with that is infinite regression. Too many gods. And what created that God? Where did it come from? So most makes sense the most is a naturalistic explanation with no supernatural God to start the whole existence. That's why we'll find out more going to these exoplanets once the NASA warp drive is completed. You'll see. Not only that, remember there's actually a cartoon like Dark Matter 25. They say God is all-knowing. Well, the cartoon is really good because it's explaining testing God. Okay, if you're all-knowing, it's like, well, how do you know this? And then the God couldn't answer. So it's like too many contradictions. The Bible's false, religion is false, all the gods are false, and the God can't answer your questions. Therefore, your God is irrelevant. And you'll see that as it's freaky as dark energy, dark matter, we're going to even learn more freaky stuff. Things we can't even imagine to know, or comprehend to know, because it's the unknown unknown. Another planet that looks like Earth and resembles Earth, and it's totally different. Different species, different everything. Just freaky. It's gonna be freaky stuff, man. So stay tuned, and like I said, just be, your God can't exist because all the questions we have, it can't answer. It's impossible for your God to exist. All the contradictions, the infinite regression. So just the naturalistic means have all started. We'll find out. Matter energy is eternal. Maybe we just need to know more. It could be a cosmos with no creator. It could be so many things. It could be a cosmos with no creator. It could just be maybe an accident. It could be so many things.